He's working now. I've never seen him work this hard. Ever.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's because I had to talk with him. I was like, yo, like, you really think this shit's gonna last forever?
Yeah,
it's not.
You have to put.
It's not. You know how many people I've seen make $30 million and spend 29? Like,
never sign another contract.
Never sign another contract.
Yep.
I was like, is that what you want to be, or do you want to make 100 million? If you're over 21 miles per hour, Kodak 18. Max 18, max 18. Brady, he just has, like, he loves learning. He likes school. Like, we knew he was the right fit just from mentality-wise. I like Brady because he was almost a PhD. He's a quarterback, so he didn't really need to run fast, but it was fun just teaching somebody where the risk wasn't super high, but it was fun just to teach somebody that wouldn't necessarily learn speed as a quarterback or value it. And he's super competitive, so he got frustrated a bunch of times, but in the end, he got better at it and is performing well. Yeah, so Trevor, like, being the #1 pick and being one of the top guys in the college football scene, we didn't really know what to expect from a personality standpoint. We were lucky with Joe. Last year, Joe was #1 in Heisman, one of the most humble, hardworking guys ever. We didn't know if every guy's like that, so when Trevor came out, you know, he was like the most humble, hardest working, detailed guy I've been around, and it was fun just teaching him speed. It's like, it's just a skill to put in his tool set. He already had a decent amount of speed. He's pretty fast. Teaching him a couple things I think he's going to transfer over. It was pretty cool. Shane was hilarious. The first time I met him, he was like, yes, sir, no, sir. I was like, dude, you don't have to say sir to me. But super respectful, always wanted to learn, super hardworking. He's not a burner, so it was about teaching him a couple skills that would transfer. Like, being able to be aggressive in those first 4 contacts would be, you know, help him be successful, escaping the pocket, things like that. So really about building the physical quality. From a technical standpoint, it wasn't really important for us to, like, make him look like a track star, but from a physical standpoint, we wanted him to have the qualities to be fast. So yeah, so Zach Wilson, I didn't know too much about Zach. I had a quarterback that went to BYU, Tanner Mangum. Tanner was always telling me about this young guy, Zach, coming up, how he's going to be the truth, and he's going to be like a top pick. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, like, it's BYU. Like, I don't, you know. So I followed him, started watching kind of what he was doing. Junior year was great. Senior year, even better. Watching the progression and knowing he's working with, you know, John Beck on the quarterback front, like, I knew, like, man, this dude's going to be next level. But I was surprised when he came out here because he's one of the best athletes we had on the field, and we had some of the fastest, most powerful guys in the NFL. But he's a freak of nature athletically and power-wise. So, yeah, Zach was super interesting. It was a lot of fun working with him. I knew about Elijah through Miles Bryant. I reached out to the sports scientist at University of Washington, and we just started talking about him and just thought about, like, what's possible as far as athletic profile-wise, like, what can we do with him. And it wasn't even really a pitch. I just called him and I was like, let me just go over some of your data that I saw from your games and practices. Elijah came out, and immediately we just knew, like, mentality-wise, he was the right fit. Basically, just, he was like the most studious guy I've ever been around. Every Tuesday we had a video meeting, so we'd go over stuff and break down his data, and he just loved it. He had a decent velocity, but he got to it super late from an acceleration standpoint. So we had to build up his acceleration. And acceleration is highly correlated with horizontal force capability. So how much force can you create in a short amount of time? That's horizontal. And it's not just up and down, it's vertical. It's a pushing ability. So we knew if we impacted that he would perform pretty well. So yeah, that's essentially what we did with Elijah. You got to talk to Fergus. You heard about him? That's who I'm going over. I'm going to see Fergus after this, yeah.
You know, you want to know where the coach is coming from so that you can meet him halfway, because they don't know anything really about what you do.
Right.
So you got to meet them somewhere.
You got to translate their language, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff they're laying out from a performance standpoint, you can manage, it seems like. Exactly.
If you understand how to convert it into their words as well, because they have so much to do, they don't need to try and learn your language. Like, what does when a coach talks about speed, are they talking about starting speed, or are they talking about explosive speed, reactive speed? You got to figure out, okay, what and use their language.
Right. Okay, so explain density to me.
So density is how much work we can get done in a period of time, how much high intensity work we can get done in a period of time.
Power.
Yeah, so metabolic power would fit into that. I would all.
Say it one more time, sorry.
The density is how much work we can get done in how much high intensity work we can get done in a period of time.
So magnitude, high intensity effort.
Yeah. So this is what you've got, Les. You've got a big X. I want someone to run fast, right? And then the next thing is volume is how many of these we can do. So this is volume, like is to infinity. How many of them we can do?
Yeah.
This is volume, so it's the question mark, like how many of them. Density is like how many big ones I can get done in a window of time. You know, volume is the total number before it stops. Now you can put a percentage decrement, like set that up, whatever that is. Density is like how many efforts can I do in a set period of time.
Got it, okay.
So you've got the size of the X, you've got the number of X's, and then you've got the number of X's per minute. This is where time comes in.
Okay.
It's like per minute or.
So
does this make sense?
Yeah. So if time is a factor in it.
Yes.
So
it's not a factor necessarily in football, but it is in rugby. It's a big factor in rugby.
Yeah.
The volume is a big factor in soccer. Density is not that big. Like you might have a short burst like of 45 seconds, but you might not do anything for 2 minutes. Like your jog. So you're switching between intensity, volume, and density as the key metrics that you want to measure in a team.